damn, that character got to work hard for a little.
Okay.
And then, you know, Ices exist. But wow, that's a character that conceptually is beautiful, but sucks in this game. Thankfully, we don't have to worry about Ices nor Rosa moving forward. Actually, this is a non-zero chance. Like, Pong could play Rosa. But we're not going to be seeing Pong's Rosa. We might be seeing the Sora Ditto? Or Sora versus Palu. Yeah, no, it's Sora Palu.
Imagine being a lab rat.
Could be me.
It was absolutely me in Smash 4.
Definitely could have been us. Well, look, we got Ultimate to talk about, and we got like Ultimate's Best Hits Volume 1 on the screen versus the latest and greatest in DLC.
Absolutely. And speaking about DLC, I was really sad when I missed Gen set against the Buzz.
There's a lot to be learned, and I feel like the early Sora meta here in New York specifically, this character is going to pop real hard. And Mojo definitely going to be one of the players to forward that. And I'm actually kind of glad you brought up Dabuz, because Mojo has been practicing this character with Dabuz a lot. Ooh. There's a lot of labbing between the two of them, and a lot of bracket work behind Mojo to try and see what he can do with the character that he's wanted for the longest time. Fighting off against Pong, who, to his own credit, has a pretty solid Sora, but this is also behind Pong's tried and true. This is a Palutena that needs no introduction, but currently can use a little bit of help because Mojo putting on the hurt.
Absolutely, and that hurt is looking like it's hurting because Palutena is at 144, and all it takes is for a sneeze, a cough, and even a breath it is going to take for Palutena to dry here. So Pong needs to be absolutely very careful, keep this, you know, less control under pressure. But as you said, that backer is going to take it and take off that first stock, and Mojo's looking very comfortable. Ooh.
Yeah, until he ends up floating right into Explosive Flame. Oh, he committed to all 3 Sonic Blades. He's going to get punished for that. But, I mean, he's got a lead. It's not that comfortable of a lead, but he does hold one.
Absolutely, and I'm definitely, we've been seeing a little bit of the, like, you know, edge guarding from, you know, Mojo, only because I really feel like I'm believing. I think you said that a while ago that you think this character can definitely, you know, provide a lot when it comes to ledge trapping.
Oh, I'm a huge believer in Sora. Like, I am not shy about my bias for the Mojo Sora, although I'm kind of a big believer in both of these characters on screen, and I do think Palu does have a lot of the tools to slow down Sora, both on stage and off stage, and I think that's pretty big, especially if Pong manages to find where he can utilize those tools to slow down Sora. But right now, I think Mojo's been doing a fantastic job of mitigating a lot of that off-stage pressure, both with how he's using his jumps, his up Bs, side Bs, to make it difficult for Explosive Flame to lock him down. We got the tied stock count right now, but Mojo's been doing a fine job of getting in this, like, little bits of hit-and-run damage.
Absolutely, and that is looking like it's adding up a lot. You have to be very careful because, again, with, you know, Sora's specials, it's definitely looking like it could really be a, you know, an issue for Palutena.
Oh, that was a good weight on the landing. Unfortunately, the forward smash takes a bit too long to start up. The startup frames on it leave a lot to be desired, but that was a great catch with the back air, and now we got the 2-1 stock count. Let's see what Mojo can do once he's back in the lead.
Absolutely. That was a very nice reversal coming in, and
right in his face?
It was right there. That's also right there, too. This could... Getting... Wow. I don't know. I don't know what to say about this because that was looking a little scary.
Yeah, no, that the offstage play, like, Sora has a very easy way of commanding space in the air, and while Palutena herself has a lot of very reliable buttons, she doesn't have a lot of flexibility in those buttons when it comes to offstage play, especially her projectiles, which good projectile usage is one of the better ways of slowing down Sora. Unfortunately, some poor choices in landings are going to give Mojo a very favorable game 1.
I have a few questions. Very small questions. That was down tilt to up smash?
Yeah.
And then not only the up smash, the F smash too?
Forward smash strong.
Oh, wait.
Forward smash strong. Takes a little bit on the startup, but strong move.
That is Ness's bat on crack. Like, quite literally, you have a child with the power of freaking God to kill you with a bat. And then you have Sora coming in being like the freaking Lord of the Flies with his sword, just smacking you in the face with a key.
It's a good key.
You must be very careful. I don't know, because watch you run up on Sora like in the dead of the night and like you just get keyed in the face. Like,
have you seen some of the Keyblades? You are not surviving that interaction. The Kingdom Key itself is enough to deal with. But we got a different beast to fight with this Sora. It looks like Pong is bringing out the Falco. Another one of his really strong characters I'd put right alongside the Palu. Although it has been a minute since I've seen it in bracket, so we'll see if it's up to snuff for fighting the likes of Sora. I do feel like offstage play is going to be very topsy-turvy for both of these players because there's a lot of opportunity for Falco to turn offstage play into his own, whether he brings you offstage or he's finding a reversal.
Absolutely. Oh, have to be very careful. That was a very nice recovery from Pong, and we need to see Pong land. We have not been able to see Pong land, and if we know anything from, Tilde and Kofi, we know that this character cannot make you land. You will not have any fun at all.
Yeah, no, the juggle potential is really strong from Falco. However, Falco does have the fatal flaw of being a spacey with fairly predictable landing options. Committing to getting into the air is really big on Falco here. So there's going to be a lot of that opportunity for Sora to just sort of pick him off if he's in the air when he doesn't belong to. However, the same must be said about Sora. If Mojo's not careful about where he's jumping along, there's a lot of ways that Pong can just turn a reversal into big damage and potentially early stocks.
Absolutely. And speaking of early stops, it's looking like it can end up as such if, Pong isn't careful. But
Can't even stocks. Has something else to say. Falco hit kind of hard.
Oh, God.
Sora might hit a lot, but barring a couple of moves, he doesn't hit especially hard. What he does do is take stage control very confidently, and he can juggle very well. Finding those ins in neutral, though, do prove to be a bit more of a challenge, especially against a character who has reliable reversal tools. An excellent decision from Pong gives him the lead here in Game 2.
Absolutely, and that lead looked like it can be very beneficial for Pong if he can turn this into even more damage with 40% already, 52, and ending at 66. Just...
Yeah. Mojo, a big fan of the counterattack. And he timed it out really well there for down air, killing out from out deep.
That was 3 times?
It's a little suspect on the DI.
Was that 3 times?
Listen, you can know he's going to put out the counterattack 3 times, but if you go into it and you hit it, that's on you.
Well, it's definitely looking like it's on Pong, because if Pong can't be careful, he might just end up losing the stock, because it's looking like all the control is in Mojo's favor. And that was reverse Nair?
That was the last hit of Nair, yeah. Nair lasts quite a bit. Nair 1 in particular, that's a grimy move.
Oh, God.
And the back hit of it sends forward, which Sora can then use to reassess neutral into his favor. There's a couple of really cheeky confirms you can get out of the back hit of Nair. But Pong doing well to keep this very fast-paced game, so Mojo doesn't have a lot of opportunity to experiment on the fly here.
Absolutely. You cannot be too careful when it comes to this character, and especially with that mix that you got with that side B, you can find yourself struggling.
Yes, very good on Mojo, opting to only go for the second Sonic Blade. That was a great call out from Pong, not going to get caught by the down smash, and in fact punishing Sora from going upwards, because that's Falco airspace. And that's going to bring us to Game 3.
That was so good. I really like the idea with that down air, because then he went for the down smash. Of course, auto-canceling it. However, that was, again, such a good call out from Pong, as you said.
I think it was a good idea from Mojo, but an even better reaction and execution from Pong. All right, well, Game 3 is what we wanted, is what I wanted. So I hope it's what you wanted, because it's what we're getting anyways.
Period. Period. And guess what? Period. Is this the same song that's been playing?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, God.
I was talking about this a little bit earlier. Like, all the Pokemon music just sort of bleeds together after a while. And, like, they're not bad, but statistically, given how often I'm commentating here at the meta, I'm going to hear Stadium so often. Like, I just sort of roll with it now.
Listen.
It's like Animal Crossing music is, like, especially boring. And then, like, there's a few tracks you hear on the Smash stages, and then just music off of Hollow Bastion's, like, especially good. It's like, those will stand out, but, like, if it's Pokemon, it's like, yeah, it's happening.
Okay, but, like, I don't know. It just reminds me of how much I've been hating the more Pokemon games recently.
Ooh.
But that's just another topic for another day, because we have to talk about this game right here. looking like it's very scary for Mojo right now, but not anymore because he has center stage, and we already know what you can do with center stage.
Yeah, on one hand, like, good on Mojo for being able to fight for that stage control, because having that against a Spacey is more difficult than you'd think on paper. But the problem with trying to secure center stage and like really assert control because of that against Falco is a little bit more difficult because of Falco's laser. The fact that he is able to keep that space and force the approach, and you have to respect the damage and knockback of the laser, does act a bit more demanding than you often see from other projectiles. It has good range, has non-negligible damage, but Thundaga much the same.
That was a call out. I'm going to be completely honest. That looked too, like, exact to not be a call out.
Thundaga, although a little slow and not the largest of hitboxes, and maybe not as much flexibility as Farago and Blizzaga, is a really good jump call-out button. And I think with Mojo recognizing that situation, pulled the trigger on Thundaga with perfect timing. Fortunately, the same can be said for Pong, waiting to pull the trigger on forward smash, because it once again gives us a tied stock count.
Absolutely, and with that tight stock count, it can end up, again, in a very bad position for, Mojo if he lets Pong take all this damage, but it's looking like he doesn't want any of that. Absolutely not.
Oh, again, just jumping around the down smash. Normally, in those kind of situations, you'll expect a player to go for like a panic roll or like maybe spot dodge, and down smash would catch in those situations, but Pong is not falling for those trappings. He's leading himself into the air, although unfortunately for him, Sora is just as good as getting into the air as Falco is. So Mojo going to take a swift lead here.
Absolutely, and then with only 55% on, this can be a really good stock. I mean, I'm going to be completely honest. I want to see some cheese.
I don't know how likely we're going to see some cheese. Even though both of these players do know a handful of saucy stuff behind both of their characters, I think how even the skill level is behind the both of them is going to force them to just have to outwit the opponent in a very traditional manner. I think that's also why we've seen such an even-handed set.
Absolutely.
Oh, he tried to do it to him.
I'm telling you, the cheese, I want it now.
If you space forward air in a proper enough way, you can just keep on forward airing an opponent before they have the opportunity to put out a jump or their up special, and you just sort of drag them down to their death. It's not true, but if you're not expecting it, you are going to get got. And Pong is not trying to get got right now, not on less stock.
Did somebody say Smash for Bayo? I don't know. And on a Spacey too? But that Spacey's looking like it's trying to take you out for a ride into space, and maybe can we see a little bit of Falco combos? The Falco combo? No Falco combos, not today.
There hasn't been a lot of opportunity for Pong to put out the Falco combos because, and this is more to the credit of Mojo than it is against Pong, Mojo's been staying super fluid. He's been making sure to stay in the air, and the only time you're going to see up tilt hit is when it's like up tilt 2. Like, yeah, you get the damage, and yeah, you do knock Sora out of the sky a little bit, but you don't get those really big combos that's to be expected. I think it's also the fact that like Pong knows how to DI them, so Mojo rather knows how to DI the Falco starters. So there's not too much for him to worry about. That's why Pong has had to rely on a lot of the 1-2s. Ooh. Oh, talk about that 1-2, the up tilt back air, starting to put on the damage.
You absolutely have to be careful because that can be very bad for you. Are we going to see? Nope, not going to get that. That was very scary. That could have ended in Pong's favor, but we do have Pong trying to take some stage control, and this edge guard.
Ooh, the hit of the Sonic Blade from beneath. Intentional or not, a really good opportunity for Mojo to alleviate just a tiny bit of the pressure. Still floating around off stage, although he gets caught out with forward air. Is that going to be enough? It will, and Pong takes the 2-1 over Mojo.